witness to read a resolution that was passed jointly by both houses of the state legislature in honor of Len. When I first met Len, I didn't need these, but now I do. Whereas the Senate and General Assembly of the state of New Jersey note with sadness the death of Len Soucy, a highly esteemed lifelong resident of the Garden State, who passed away on Wednesday, June 11th, 2014. And whereas a resident of Millington, Morris County, Len Soucy was the respected founder of the Raptor Trust, which he established more than 3 decades ago, and this praiseworthy endeavor grew from its humble beginnings as a backyard avian care center to become one of the largest, most comprehensive facilities of its kind in the entire nation. And whereas, under the capable leadership of Len Soucy, the Raptor Trust has continued to uphold its mission of saving avian lives, educating others in the diversity and value of wild animals, and studying raptor populations to bring harmony between humans and nature. And more than 81,000 birds have been cared for by Len Soucy and his colleagues at the Raptor Trust. And whereas Len Soucy earned a master's bird banding license from the United States Department of Interior, thus demonstrating his skill and expertise, and he widely published scientific information gathered from field studies. And whereas an array of honors and awards bore witness to the many accomplishments of Len Soucy and attested to the high regard in which he was held, including the National Wildlife Rehabilitators Association Lifetime Achievement Award and the Leonard J. Soucy Jr. Memorial Fund was created in his honor to aid worthwhile projects. And whereas Len Soucy Jr. Memorial Fund was created to honor his worthwhile projects, and he was upheld in his life efforts by his beloved wife Diane and took great pride in his son Chris. And whereas, within all the spheres of his life and work, Len Soucy established a model to emulate and set a standard of excellence toward which others might strive. And whereas, be it resolved by the Senate and the General Assembly of the state of New Jersey that this legislature hereby honors the memory of Len Soucy and extends profound sympathy and sincere condolences to the members of his family. I remember, I think it was Dante, who said that nature is the art of God. I thought of that this morning when I was on the way here, thinking about Len, because Len understood that and always thought on man and women and what their relationships were to nature. He believed in the importance of all creatures who share this planet with us. And being a man who was honored as much as he was honored, revered by experts and specialists, very important scholastic awards to the Raptor Trust, he had expertise in birds and owls and hawks that equaled any scientist in the world. He had that kind of but Len never, ever stopped learning. And to many scientists, he was their equivalent. He knew at least as much, but he never changed. He was always, as long as I knew him, and I think I first met him back in a sunfish pond fight back in the late 70s, he never really changed in who he was and what his belief. Above all, I think he was a teacher. He liked doing that, and he was good at it. My grandchildren, who went to Raptor Trust, and Len was kind enough to show them around himself. I don't know my grandson whether he's more fascinated with Len or the owl. But they both made a profound impression, which he still talks about. And he was further educated, and he further came to believe about the wholeness of nature and the belief that we all deserve support for all God's creatures. That was Len, and he was that kind of a person. I found his honorary degree that he got that made him a doctor from Drew University. And yet, as you read it, it's just as true today about Len as it was the day it was presented. This is a degree. At a time when short-range pressures distract us from the long-term conservation, and in a place that desperately needs to hear about pressing environmental threats, Len Soucy's life and work are inspirational. While many offer bumper sticker space to demonstrate their environmental concerns, Len responds to a more compelling call of the wild, devoting his full life and resources to learning about, teaching about, and caring for the wildlife of our region. We're all better off for what Len Soucy did. Really, for all of us. His legacy, and I know this made him very proud, is now in the hands of Diane, who's going to watch over it, and of course Chris, and the very dedicated staff that is at the Raptor Trust. And I hope his family can have some consolation in the fact of there's something I read once by the author James Barrie, and he said, you know, that God gave us memory so that we might have roses in December. So we'll think about Len often. We'll remember him, we'll celebrate him, and we'll always carry on his work.